Hello, I'm John Reed, employer liaison with Career Opportunities and the facilitator of this podcast. Welcome to Before You Cross That Bridge, a podcast series focusing on helping young adults find a job and or a career on Cape Cod. Today, we are pleased to offer a special edition focusing on how to make good money on Cape Cod. We have two very special guests today. Erin Veal from Rogers & Gray Insurance, where she is Senior Vice President and Director of Human Resources, and Jacob Stapleton, Strategic Projects Coordinator of Broadreach Healthcare in North Chatham. Today, we have the pleasure of talking with Erin Veal, Senior Vice President and Director of Human Resources of Rogers & Gray Insurance on Cape Cod. Rogers & Gray is one of several insurance agencies on Cape Cod that is hiring. So my first question to you today is, outside of sales, are there any other current job openings that offer the opportunity to make good money? And more to the point, is this industry willing to hire and train young people who have little or no experience in the field?
Yes, they sure are. Insurance does suffer from somewhat of a perception problem,
right?
But it is a very attractive career for someone who's looking for a career. There's many components that you can enter into in insurance. Obviously, sales is one of them, but it's a customer service business. Clients do business with you and hope to get your guidance and expertise on what they need to purchase, be it home, auto, umbrella, insurance for businesses, employee benefits. All of those things make up the insurance industry. So it's not just sales, it's helping a customer or a client or an individual or a business find what they need and explain it to them so they understand. And it's protection for them. Oftentimes people are insuring their most valuable asset and they need help with that. So
right.
There's also support functions that are in insurance. There's HR, obviously, IT, finance and accounting, marketing. There's a lot of different types of careers you can have within insurance that aren't necessarily related to insurance sales.
Right.
At Rogers & Gray, we have all of those different departments, and we have our own internal Rogers & Gray Academy that allows us to bring in people who are interested in the career, perhaps in business, and teach them from the bottom up the nature of insurance products, services, and they go through that program and then can easily transition into a full-time role in whatever it is the position that they're seeking to go into.
Well, that's wonderful, Erin. I'd like to know a little bit about your personal experience also as an employee at Rogers & Gray. How did you come into that field in the first place?
Sure. I entered in the insurance industry when I graduated from college. I was working up in Peabody, Massachusetts for a small agency there. I got married in 1998 and moved to the Cape, at which time I started to look for an insurance position here. My husband is a teacher, and both of us could essentially work anywhere. Those types of industries are available anywhere.
Sure.
So I applied at Rogers & Gray, and I started here in 1999 as a personal lines client manager. And what that means is that I serviced and assisted clients who had personal insurance with the agency. I did that for several years here. During that time, I went back to grad school, and Rogers & Gray supported me through that whole effort. I was then offered an opportunity in sales. We had an employee go out on a medical leave, and I was able to step into that role. And I really enjoyed it. It was a completely different opportunity than what I had always worked in. So I really enjoyed that. the employee never returned from leave, so I ended up taking on that position here in the agency for several years.
Wonderful.
And then I learned that our HR director was going to be retiring from Rogers and Gray. And that had been something that I had studied in college and that I had hoped to work in when I graduated college. And at that time, it just didn't work out. So I tossed my hat into that ring, and very grateful that Rogers and Gray gave me that opportunity. I didn't know HR, but they allowed me to train with the existing HR director for a year, sent me to classes and other development opportunities, and I was able to transition into the HR director here at Rogers and Gray, and I've been doing HR here for almost 9 years.
Erin, that is the perfect example we can give to somebody who is looking to go to a field or an organization such as Rogers and Gray and be assured that if they're going above and beyond and if they pride themselves on customer service, they can and will move up through the ranks, and that one is not necessarily stuck, if you will, or pigeonholed into one role for 20 or 30 years. By the way,
Absolutely.
Speaking of coming up through the ranks and training in the first place, you have this insurance training course that Rogers and Gray is involved with. Could you tell us a little bit about that, please?
If you're referring to the program that we are affiliated with Cape Cod Community College.
Correct.
One of the things that's trying in the insurance industry right now, and I think it's true of agencies and of insurance companies, is a real challenge in recruiting. Many of the people that are in our industry right now will be retiring out of it within the next 3 to 5 years.
Right.
And as you mentioned in your introduction, insurance doesn't necessarily have that glamorous appeal to young people. They may have a perception or a stereotype, and it's not necessarily even in the top 100 careers that they might think of considering when they go to college.
Unfortunately,
so
yes.
We've got a challenge to first try to change that perception. But in the meantime, we have a real life challenge for recruiting good people into our industry. And what we found is that we have to respond to that by being able to bring good people into the agency and teach them the business. So, not only here at Rogers and Gray, but how do we spread the good word about insurance as a career? We'd love to get into the high schools to let students know that there is a good career and a security career with insurance.
Very much so.
And that also involves colleges as well. So how do we get into local academic institutions and just raise awareness of insurance as a career? And again, as we've discussed, it's not necessarily the selling or servicing of insurance. There's all the different affiliated types of roles and responsibilities that you can have, working for an insurance company. So 4Cs, Cape Cod Community College right now has, through an effort with a board committee, established curriculum to train students who are interested in taking a 2-week program that would give them a general overview of the insurance industry and some general business acumen type of courses. And then after that, have an opportunity to intern with local agencies here on the Cape. So that is a great way, hopefully, of trying to get our foot in the door to the local community and educate them on the possibilities that they can have with a career in insurance.
Erin, that's a magnificent opportunity. My final question related to that is it across the board in terms of property, casualty, life, other kinds of insurance, or is it strictly property casualty? Can you explain a little bit about what, if any, specialties there are with that training program?
Well, the particular training program with Cape Cod Community Colleges is limited to some basic property and casualty.
Okay.
As far as other opportunities, though, in the insurance industry, it's much more comprehensive than that. You can have life, accident, health insurance. Employee benefits is another great area, and employee benefits is an opportunity where you can approach an employer-based client, any type of employer who offers benefits to their employees, which could be health insurance, disability insurance, life, in addition to property and casualty, pet insurance. There's a wide variety of different insurances out there that you can then offer to individuals at employer groups, and they can have the premiums deducted right out of their payroll. So for those that are looking into the industry, there's quite a diverse amount of different products and services. Someone might decide that from a financial background or financial degree that they wanted to be an actuary or deal in data analysis or work on computer programming in agency or carrier specific rating software or databases. So there's quite a different range of things to do within the industry, lots of products and services, and then a lot of the other ancillary roles and responsibilities that go with any company.
Erin, thank you so much for expounding on all of the opportunities within the insurance field. I personally find it very exciting, and I hope that our listeners do too. The opportunities are unlimited, and what's more, these opportunities are here on Cape Cod. So, Erin, thank you very much. It's been our pleasure to talk with you today.
Thank you very much.
Today, we have the pleasure of talking with Jacob Stapleton, Strategic Projects Coordinator at Broadreach Healthcare in North Chatham. Jacob, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure.
Well, why don't we start by the basics? Money. Young people want to make money. So what opportunities does your organization offer young people seeking employment that would offer them the opportunity to make good money?
Well, that's a really good question. Getting into the workforce, a lot of people are looking to try to make some money and really get ahead, and whether that's planning for a family or planning for education, that's a really important piece. And so one of the things that we focused on at Broadreach Healthcare is making our own standard of a minimum wage. Beginning last fall, we introduced a $12 minimum wage for all of our entry-level positions. So that's our baseline for any position that's coming in that's entry-level. So whether that's being a nursing aide, working in the dietary department as a dishwasher, working in our maintenance department, whatever that may be, if it's an entry level, we set a $12 minimum wage. And there's a lot of entry level jobs that are out there that are still starting at or near the state minimum wage, which is $10 an hour. And we feel that our employees' work is far more valuable than that.
Wonderful. That's great. Healthcare, of course, we all need it, and we're always going to need it. And especially with baby boomers aging, we're going to need it even more. How would you describe healthcare as not only a solid but a growing career path, particularly here on Cape Cod? What are the different avenues you see it going into?
Well, you brought up a really great point. Healthcare is an ever-growing field, and really getting started can lead to a lot of opportunities and build a foundation, not only for college, but finding a really good fit in the field. Healthcare ranges in all different areas. And as you mentioned, over the next 10 years, the baby boomer population is really going to continue to grow. There's going to be more individuals that are going to be needing assistance, that are going to be needing health care. And the median age on Cape Cod is right now is between 50 and 55 years old. And that's actually, that median age has actually increased over the past 10 years. And so the need for healthcare workers, especially in senior care, is only going to continue to grow. And so getting into that healthcare field now, building a solid foundation for it, you're going to have job security.
Yes, absolutely. Can you give me any examples of individuals who have already benefited from beginning with you and advancing their career?
Absolutely. So one of the things that we offer here at Broadreach Healthcare is we have a nursing assistant program, and it leads to certification. So that's it's a tuition-free program that we offer here. And individuals don't have to have a background in healthcare to join the class. They just have to have a real strong desire to help others, a willingness to learn, and, close to, high school education, GEDs, you can fall into that category. And it's more than just a class. When we have individuals who come into our nursing assistant program, they need to commit to a year of full-time employment. So when we have people that are coming in for this class, they're securing employment as well, and they'd be working at our rehabilitation and long-term care facility at Liberty Commons. And that's a great springboard to not only get certified down the road, but to get 1 year's experience in the healthcare field. And we have a number of individuals who we have had work for us, and we still have working for us, who have taken advantage of that opportunity. So an example of that is just last month, we celebrated an employee's 5-year anniversary of working for Broadreach Health. And she started working here in our dining services department. She started working out as a dishwasher, doing some prep work, working in our nutrition stations, and she enrolled in the class. And after that time, she became a CNA, and she took advantage of our funding opportunities that we have to support her in becoming a nurse. So she has actually become a nurse, and she's still working for us as a nurse. And so starting out at that real entry-level position, just in our dining services, not to minimize what they do a great work. They do a lot of work down there.
Of course.
But she found a great opportunity, and she's just continued to grow and continue to grow, and she's stayed here ever since.
I can't imagine how gratifying that is to make such an investment in an individual and to watch them grow and to nurture them along. I just think that's a beautiful story.
And that's what we like to do here. At Broadreach, we're more than just a company. We are really a family. More than 50% of our staff have been working here between 5 and 25 years, and some more than that. So more than half of our company have been here longer than 5 years, and a lot more longer than that. And, I don't know if you can find a lot of places that you're going to be able to find that kind of dedication. And, the dedication goes both ways.
Yes.
Broadreach provides a lot of competitive compensation, incentives, and rewards for hard work. We do a lot of team activities here, and the company provides paid summer and holiday employee parties. And we're actually one of the few in Massachusetts and on Cape Cod that started offering paid parental leave.
Really?
Which was last year, yeah. And that's for any of our employees, who male or female, that if they have either just had a child or if they have adopted a child, that we provide that first 8 weeks of their FMLA paid.
That is just almost unheard of in this day and age, Jacob. I'm sure I'm not by any means the first to tell you that. That is just a wonderful standard to set. And certainly the kind of longevity that you've described is practically gone in this day and age. I think you're setting a sterling example out there. Anything you would like to add?
Well, we like to make it hard for employees to ever feel that their work goes unnoticed for too long.
Right.
We don't think that it should only be the large corporations in this world, in this country, that provide those types of opportunities and benefits to its employees. We're a small, locally and family-owned company. We are based right here in Chatham. All of our services are in Chatham. Our owner and President CEO, he is here every single day. He knows all of the employees, and every month we have a recognition ceremony for our employees and their length of service, and he presents that to all of them, and he knows every single one of them. We really feel that having a close team providing positive, excellent services is the most important part of what we do, and we like to make sure that as a company we're providing those same services and that same appreciation to our employees, and people get rewarded with it throughout the time that they work here.
Well, that's magnificent, Jacob. Thank you so much. And I'd just like to put in a little bit more of a plug, if you don't mind, for your next CNA session, which I believe starts May 18th. Is that correct?
We would like to make sure that anybody who is interested in that program to please send in a resume, to fill out our application, or to stop on by before the May 18th, because our class starts the following day on the 19th with our orientation, and then a full class schedule the following week. So anybody who would like to get more information about that program, you can go to our website at www.broadreachhealth.org and look for the employment link, or you can stop by at Liberty Commons, which is at 390 Orleans Road in North Chatham, Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4, and you can fill out an application, and we can try to set up an interview as soon as possible.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jacob Stapleton, Strategic Projects Coordinator with Broadreach Healthcare in North Chatham. Jacob, it's been our pleasure to speak with you and to learn about your wonderful workplace.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you very much, John.
For everyone out there, remember, before you cross that bridge, visit Career Opportunities, the Cape's one-stop career center.